Do you think that The Last of Us is the best horror TV show running currently?
Cheers.
Oh, hold on, dude. I'm taking the plastic off.
I warned
I
you.
always had troubles with rappers.
I feel that. Which rappers did you not like?
I'm not a big mumble rap guy.
All the
I think
young
that goes
stuff?
without being said. But you know what else I never super got into was Bone Thugs.
Really?
I
I
like Bone Thugs. I don't
like.
love Bone Thugs. I think it was the singing and the rapping at the same time.
See,
I don't know.
Crossroads is a phenomenal song.
Crossroads, crossroads.
You know what I
in the
recently heard?
crossroads.
I think I told you this already, but I recently heard Chitty Bang and I forgot about them.
Chitty
White to
No,
black
you were
guy.
showing this. Yeah, you were showing it to me at the end of the last podcast.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yep.
I forget. Cheers.
Yeah, oh man, this reminds me of hazing. Cheers, dude. Dolce Vita. What do you got?
Casadores.
Oh, your tequila. Hell yeah, dude.
Dear Tequila. Well, please don't adjust your TV set. What must look weird is we are no longer in person. That's because, as always, Jamie decides to run away from the pain. Well, hello, anyone who's ever been woken up by the sprinklers at 4 a.m. in your parents' front yard. Welcome to another amazingly astonishing episode of Drunk and Demonic. I'm your host, Jamie Knutson.
I'm Peter.
He doesn't have a last name. He didn't want to give it up. I knew that.
I don't
It's okay.
want to do it. No,
you don't have
it's secret, dude. If you
You
know me, you know me. If you don't, you don't, dude.
If you know, you know. Stop it. You stop it. You hang out first. What do we got on the docket there, Pete? Oh,
you are getting woken up by sprinklers at 4 a.m.
Uh-huh.
That's a sign of a drought, man. You're running the sprinklers at that time of day.
That's the best time to do it.
Yep, biggest bang for your buck, I guess.
You never like got dropped off at 3 a.m. at your parents' house, and then were too drunk and just fell down on the lawn and woke up to the sprinklers.
I know. Go home. Yeah.
I never did it either, but
yeah. What the fuck are you talking
movie.
about? We didn't have fucking sprinkler systems. We had a hose that had a little tractor, and it traced along the hose.
Well, I'm sorry that whatever.
I was fancy with that one. If anyone knows, that's a callback, dude. It's a deep cut.
I'm sorry that that's all I could think of at this point in time to talk about being a drunk. Do you have anything that you think would be way better than what I said? Because obviously it sounds like you did.
You did such a good job.
Thank you.
Yep. Jimmy, what are you drinking today? I know you've got your deer tequila. That's your main one, right? That's your big guy?
It is. And then I also have, it's called Jonesy Hockey Lager from Conshohocken Brewery here in Philadelphia. It's got it's got a flyer on it.
Yeah, that's Chris Jones, dude.
I figured it would be.
I think it's Chris Jones, right?
Yeah, I'd say because it's Jonesy. Yeah,
he's on the NHL broadcast.
Yeah. I got this in memoriam from our beloved Colorado Avalanche that are no longer with us in the playoffs.
Yeah, but they're still better than the fucking Flyers. So take that, Cronin.
Doesn't take much. Way to name drop people from Steamboat. Just how I like, buddy.
It's okay. Someone will see it and be like, hey, they talk shit about you on their podcast. Gaining listeners, bro, because then he's going to go listen to it.
Yeah, good point.
Yep.
All right.
A marketing terrorist is what they call me.
That's exactly what everyone I know calls you. What do you got, Pete?
I'm drinking, obviously, I got my shooters at Dolce Vita. Because you know what? I'm not here with you. We're not sharing a bottle like normal. So I felt like I didn't need to get an entire bottle of tequila.
That's what I thought.
Cinco de Mayo, though. So
it is Cinco.
Sticking with the theme, we also have classic Corona Extra.
Ooh, that's good stuff.
Here. It's good stuff.
No, I know.
It gets the job done.
A lot of dishwashers that I've worked with in my restaurant lifetime like it.
They love it. It's like batteries, dude. You want your bar mats out before all the kitchen pans? Corona will do.
Corona will do. It will get the job done.
Sweet. Any other sponsors we need to mention?
I think that's all we got. Damn near.
Yeah. Like we said, it's Cinco de Mayo, May 5th. That's a big date. Jamie, do you know why May 5th is such a big date?
Other than Cinco de Mayo?
It's the start of jury selection for the P. Diddy trial.
Really?
So today is the jury selection officially beginning. It's going to take about a week, they're guessing, which normally it happens in like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
They're like, it's going to be it's going to take a little bit longer than that.
You think people are going to be
this
biased?
Is a little bit of a high profile case. Yeah.
As I said, I think people are going to be biased for sure for this.
You know what? I think that this jury pool is going to be filled with grandpas and grandmas that don't know who P. Diddy is. And if you don't know who P. Diddy is, you're probably good. If you
Do you know where the trial's at?
I do not know where the trial's at. It's got to be, I guess it could be in New York. I can look it up real quick.
I'm looking it up while you keep talking,
look it up
buddy.
real quick. But anyways, so the Diddy trial, we've covered this briefly here and there. This is actually like a little bit, we covered it a little bit ago when all of this first kind of came out. But he's being charged with sexual assault, physical abuse, and sex trafficking over decades. So there's a lot of charges. This trial is going to fucking take so long because there are, like 100 charges that they have to go through, and they're doing each one separately, not as like a group. Like sometimes they will say, hey, we have all of these charges. They're being brought together. Each separate incident is being litigated separately, which is fucking insanity, but that's the way it's going to happen. So
I don't want to sound racist, but how long is it?
It's going to be a long trial.
Sorry.
We're going to see so many of our favorite characters through Hollywood. It's pretty much going to be like watching TMZ if you follow this court footage.
It's kind of like that last rapper trial. I can't think of his name because he was like a mumble rapper.
It's not Trippie Redd.
Little Yachty? Was it Little Yachty?
You told me to watch the trial stuff because it was too funny. And I don't think it's going to be like that. I think this is going to be a very serious trial.
You don't think people are going to refuse to talk?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. I think that all of the people that are, specifically like the victims that are going to be making witness statements or like victim statements will certainly like, we're going to see a number of people that we recognize from Hollywood.
Oh, for sure.
Also, we're going to see a lot of people named. Like this is like, I wore it today because it feels oddly familiar.
It sure does.
To this. I got my Epstein shirt on. This is going to be like the trial that should have happened for him. I think we're going to see a lot of Hollywood people getting in a lot of serious trouble. Just whatever this results with for Diddy is going to be different, but 100% for the people that are being brought into this trial, there's going to be a lot of mudslinging, like just people throwing names out and saying, yep, this person was here and this person was here and this person trapped me in a bathroom at Diddy's house.
Yeah.
It's going to be fucking weird.
You know what this means for us, though?
No.
Kind of like the movie The Replacements, when everyone went on strike.
Yep.
Now's our chance to become actors and rappers.
That's so true. We should not put this episode up because I feel like we've done enough damage to our images already.
Yeah, we'll just sneak in and start being. I could be like the Jack.
We have a brand, though. We have a brand here, and we can be the guy at the end of the bar that yells some conspiracy shit. I'm taking application. Like, if you're looking for that guy, I haven't been named in the Diddy case.
Yeah,
I don't plan to be.
And I'm the funny fat friend that says inappropriate shit all the time in all the rom-coms.
We need that guy.
I just want to see your tat.
Hollywood needs him. And you know what? I feel like a lot of those guys may be named in this trial.
Exactly.
A lot of those guys that are like fringy, like, who the fuck is that guy? I don't remember, but he said some funny shit in like a side character in like the 90s.
Wasn't he in American Pie?
Yeah. No, it was his brother that looks like him.
Okay.
Anyways, so that's why today is important. Jury decisions are we're going through. It's really happening. He's made it to, well, fingers crossed. He's made it to trial, and that's a lot more than I honestly expected.
You thought he'd get murdered?
I thought something was going to happen for sure. There's a lot of important people that are tied into this thing. You
Go
got
on.
anything else on Diddy?
I don't.
Nah. Word. Well, that's our like update, I guess. You know, going back on stories that we've already covered that we're going to continue to keep people updated on. Not new case, but a case that is blowing up. And I've been following this for like a little over a year now.
It is
since the last time.
Buzz.
Do you know about the Karen Reed story?
I do. Okay. Just because I started watching it a little bit, and it's been on quite a few. The Body in the Snow? Yeah, it's been on quite a few podcasts for like the updates.
Yep.
Because it's currently going on trial right now, correct?
Correct. Yep. They're in the middle of trial right now. So this is the second time they're doing this trial. The first time actually resulted in a mistrial because the jury was deadlocked and they could not have a like unanimous verdict one way or the other. So they said, fine, we'll redo this whole thing. Like briefly touch on what this case is for those who have not been following it. There's this woman, Karen Reed, and she found her boyfriend, John O'Keefe, dead in a snowbank outside of a cop's house in January of 2022. Now, the prosecution is claiming that Karen Reed dropped off her boyfriend, John O'Keefe, at this party, and then as she was leaving, hit him with her car, and then took off, fled the scene, then came back, and like there's a couple different like circumstantial, I guess, I don't know. The evidence is really hard in this case. It's kind of like why I think this case is getting so much attention is because there's a small amount of evidence that is objective. And there was a mountain of evidence that you can look at it one way and then look at it another way and get completely different thoughts on what exactly happened. So prosecution is claiming that Karen Reed did it. Karen Reed is arguing that John O'Keefe went inside this house that she dropped him off at. It was a fellow police officer's house, that he was beaten inside that house, dumped on the front lawn where he was found. She is saying that there's not only was there a murder, like that he was murdered by his fellow officers or a fight or something happened inside this cop's house, but that also the police are railroading her into being the only suspect. No one else has really been considered for this.
It's crazy how that works.
So that is her defense, is saying, I didn't do it. I dropped him off, and then he never came home. I went looking for him and found him where I left him, outside of this house. And he was, you know, obviously the evidence, like we talked about, he has severe head trauma. He has trauma to his arm. This case is fucking insane. You said you've watched the documentary. I've seen the documentary. I've seen a couple different like YouTube videos on it, a bunch of podcasts. There was one that it's like, they're still putting out episodes of it, and it's like 200 something episodes long. I think I made it through like 60 of them.
Jesus.
But yeah, that was like the inside. I don't remember what it's called, and I can't.
That's okay.
It's not called Inside Karen Reed because that would be
a
bad title.
Poor taste.
That would be a bad title.
Why'd you just think of that right now?
It's okay. I will look it up. God, what is this thing called?
So was there not a point where someone said something like she backed into him and goes, oopsie, I'm such a Scorpio?
So yeah, you're definitely right.
I'm assuming where someone was like, oh yeah, she just probably didn't realize it. They're like playing the dumb blonde kind of thing.
So it's called the podcast I was into is The Trial of Karen Reed. It came out right when she started her trial the first time. There's a lot of weird stuff that happened here. So Karen Reed claims that she dropped him off. They had been drinking with these cops. They went all back to this one where these other cops were. And she dropped off her boyfriend. She claims he went inside. She went home. And then he never came home. She went the next morning to go find him and then finds him in the snowbank outside of this cop's house. But yeah, 100%. and it's like 5 a.m. or something like that she finds the body.
Did the cops just never leave their house? They're like, oh, I was just in my house the whole time since then.
That is a good point.
Yeah.
It was a huge snowstorm happening. So this is in Massachusetts, just outside of Boston in Dedham. But anyway, so his body was found. He was covered with snow and has all these bruises on him, but they don't see like a ton of blood, which is interesting. But what does happen is that, well, I guess some witnesses have claimed they heard Karen saying, "Did I hit him? I think I hit him." Was it like something along those lines as this search is happening? Or not the search isn't happening. They've already called police and police have responded. But the people that are claiming to witness that are the wife of the police officer whose house they're at. Right. And then just one EMT that was on the scene. There was 4 or 5 and no one else claimed to have heard this. So like I said, there's a ton of this like witness testimony and the evidence is also sketchy. They didn't go back so they did find a little bit of blood. They didn't go back to the station to collect the samples with like, you know, the cups that they're supposed to that have like the lock on lid and you can tell if it's been tampered with. They went and they grabbed solo cups from the house a couple doors down and like scooped up the snow with some like solo cups and then put like saran wrap over the top of it that they got from the house where this whole thing happened.
Oh yeah, brother.
Yeah, there's definitely some really bad investigation going on. And then on top of that, the detective that is in charge of investigating the case, because none of the Boston police can be involved with this case. It's a Boston police officer that's dead. They can't be involved with the investigation. So you have a state police officer, but he's best friends or like is good friends with the guy who owns the house that this whole thing happened at. And Karen Reed is saying that he died inside that house from an assault that happened from one of these officers that was at the house. It's super confusing. All of this information is also brought up a little bit after the fact. This is not revealed, obviously, by the police investigation or the sheriff's investigation or the state investigation. It's brought up by this, they call him Turtle Boy, and he is like an online blogger, a true crime blogger in the Boston area. And he like digs up all this dirt on these officers that are that are doing the investigation, as well as all this dirt on the families that are involved. It's pretty just awful to have like this microscope shown on like everything surrounding you. But at the same time, at the very middle of this all is a dead police officer. And like trying to find the right justice for him is going to be difficult because the evidence just, whatever you kind of feel in your heart, I feel like that's where you're going to go with this case.
Yeah, for sure.
And, you know, because even, you know, I'd recommend, you know, going and watching A Body in the Snow. It's the Karen Reed story on HBO. It's very good, but it also has its own spin on things, and you can tell where they're leaning at certain parts, where like the only people that are going to get the consistent advocation or like they're going to get presented with both sides of the arguments are going to be these jurors. And I hope that it's done well because, you know, as long as things are presented and we get to hear both sides equally, at least you can kind of look at the evidence and decide from an accurate perspective of what makes sense to you and what doesn't, because you can hear it from one way and hear it from another way and get totally different results.
Exactly.
So anyways, yeah, crazy story.
You said it was in Massachusetts, correct?
Correct. Yeah. Just outside of Boston.
Nice. Well, it's funny that you mentioned that because I don't know if you have seen, say 12 bodies have been found in Massachusetts since March 30th. So they're not, police are not.
Since March 30th?
Yes. 12 bodies.
Like a month ago.
Yep.
Holy shit.
But it's not like in the same place. There's only been like a few in the same town. All throughout New England, there are 12 bodies that have been found since March.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
And that's fucking crazy.
The cops
so you're saying serial killer?
The cops are claiming it's not a serial killer, obviously. But everyone on the
The
internet.
internet has got to be blowing up.
Yeah, for sure. So I got a little blurb that I saved from the ever so reliable Fox News. If you want to let me read that out, trust no one at this point.
Yeah, don't trust anyone.
All right, so here we go.
Don't trust us.
Authorities in New England found a body behind a school in Massachusetts and are suspect of foul play, adding to a number of people found dead in the region since February. The Bristol County District Attorney's Office said that Stephen Myers, 39, was found behind the Bristol Plymouth High School in Taunton, Massachusetts, at a construction site early Wednesday morning, according to the Boston 25. Officials say Myers was shot one time and was found deceased. In a statement, the Bristol Plymouth High School in Taunton told that there was no threat to the students or staff and the place wasn't locked on. So basically, this happened at night.
Yeah.
So Myers is the 12th body to be found since February in the New England area, fueling fears online that this could be a serial killer in the area. Obviously.
Yeah, for sure.
So this is where the
12 bodies don't just show up and oh man, what happened here?
So this is, since February. I'm sorry. Well, this is where I read, though.
Either way, though.
That's still one more month, the shortest month. That's still a shit ton. So a separate body was found in
the
Taunton.
Shortest month.
Yes, it is. So a 51-year-old was found in the same town, shot dead as well. And it's all... Looking at this, looks like everyone is middle-aged, so late.
These are men, though.
And women.
Okay, gotcha.
So there's a Megan Meredith, 45, of Springville, was found on March 22nd. So these are just days apart.
Uh-huh.
So a human skull was found on March 6th in Plymouth. In my professional opinion, when I can say that I'm professional because I talk about murder on the internet. Podcaster. This is definitely a serial killer.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Well, this is the same with Austin, same with San Antonio.
No one wants a serial killer in their jurisdiction. We all know that.
Yes.
Just fucking say it, though.
Well, why do you think it's the difference between now and in the 70s and 80s where they would literally tell everyone that it's a serial killer and now they just deny it all the time?
I mean, to be honest, I don't really have a good answer for that of why it's so different now, other than the fact that they learned that if you deny it, but then outwardly, but then internally you're treating it as such, you probably have a little bit more I don't know, surprise. You can kind of work a little bit more under without a microscope or a light being shown on your investigation. Because if you come out and say, hey, we are investigating a serial killer, every news outlet from around the world is going to be parked outside your front door.
Yeah, well, I feel like that. I still think that it's being publicized just as much.
I haven't heard everyone knows it, and I would if they had just come out and said, "Hey, we have a serial killer."
Yeah,
I would definitely have heard about that. So that would maybe be my guess as to why. Also, just you don't want that pressure.
Yeah, so there's not much information other than
that. Crazy. That's one that we're going to have to keep updating.
Oh,
for sure. So are they saying that these 12 bodies, and maybe you don't know the answers to this, but are they saying that these 12 bodies they've died in this amount of time? Because 12 bodies in 3 months is a crazy amount.
All I see is it just said since February, so I assume yes.
That's crazy because
they could have been... They could have
serial killers that are operating over dozens or 20 or whatever years. You BTK, who was around for fucking ever and didn't get even close to, I don't think he even had 12 victims. Having that many victims that quickly, this is not the kind of person that's going to be able to, in my opinion, be able to blend in very well. If you're that prolific, you're not one of those guys hiding in plain sight kind of thing. You're definitely on the fucking fringe because you're a fucking maniac.
This is David Berkowitz kind of style.
Yes.
Where they just found it within a 3-day or a couple month period, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
Where he was just shooting people days after each other.
Days apart. Yep.
I think Richard Ramirez was the same. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So interesting.
We'll hold on to our butts for this one.
Yeah, let's keep on top of that one. That's a wild fucking story.
Yeah,
I
I'm
have
surprised.
so many questions, but
Well, I know none of them.
yeah, I know that it's like really early on, just because like you mentioned it, and I like looked up, and like the reports that I'm seeing are from like days ago, not like months ago.
No, you
So
can ask
this
me
is
them if you
a
want.
brand new. I'm just like wondering like what, you know, if they're seeing consistency between victims, or victimology, or the MO is similar or something like that. But if they're claiming that they're not going to claim a serial killer, then it must be something along the lines of like, yeah, we're not going to release that information
So you
unless they
say,
do.
so you say yes. You think it's a serial killer as well?
Oh, dude, I'm with you for sure.
Yeah,
So we're gonna like keep sticking with the theme of New England.
might as well.
Last, not last episode, but the episode before, I talked about how I went back and watched Hell House LLC, and
Yes.
how it was like such a fantastic movie, and how much I love like the suspense that has created. Well, the guy that wrote that, Stephen Cognetti, has another film that has been released, I think, in the last year. It's called 825 Forest Road, and it takes place in rural Massachusetts. It's not the found footage style film that we're used to seeing from him,
Oh,
but
really?
yeah, no, it's a regular. I don't know what you want to. It's a regular movie.
It's a regular, good old
It's a regular
fashioned
horror
hammer
movie.
shooting movie.
Yep, there's a director and a script and everything.
Wow,
Um,
that sounds
there were
nice.
also, but so, anyways, I just had to bring this movie up because like I was like looking at this, and I saw, okay, we have Hell House LLC 5 coming out this summer. I was like, what else has this guy even done? And he hasn't done anything except for this movie. So he's done all of the Hell House movies, and then this other movie that just came out recently. And it is fantastically good. Just like with the Hell House movies, I think that the dialogue and the story is maybe the biggest pitfall of the movie, but it is 100% eclipsed by how suspenseful the movie is.
Did
Literally
he
from like,
did he write it?
yes, yep,
Yeah, it
wrote
makes
and
sense.
directed. Just I think that's just how he does it. I don't know. But he also only has, the Hell House films and this attributed to him. So he doesn't have a huge directorial catalog that we can go through. But it is 100% like from 5 minutes into the movie, I'd say, until like the closing credits. It's like this, like something's about to happen, and sometimes it delivers and sometimes it doesn't. And I think that's what makes him so good as a director or as a writer,
Mm-hmm.
is that he keeps you on the edge of your seat the entirety of the movie. It was one of those ones I was like, I might try to go to sleep, but I'm going to put a movie on to see, like to like go to sleep to. And there's no fucking chance, dude. I like literally was like up afterwards for like another like hour. Like,
That
I'm
good?
fucking scared, dude.
That's good.
It was good. It was a fantastically
You should
good
have went and
horror
ran
movie.
out into traffic or something.
What?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Weird.
I'm just messing with you.
But yeah, no, I definitely recommend this movie. I know as soon as I saw it, I was like, Jamie, you need to see this movie. But I know that you've been on the road for the last 2 weeks, so you have gotten to see a lot of other movies. I would recommend this movie 7.5 out of 10.
Perfect.
The only spots that, yeah, like I said, it's just the dialogue and the storyline is a little bit confusing, but yeah.
No, I'm
Anyways,
excited to check it out.
You did get to see some movies, Jamie.
Yeah.
What's the first movie you saw?
Honestly, the first movie I watched after being on the road, I watched Companion.
Okay, sick.
Yeah. I think it's because you told me that it was put on HBO Max. And so I've been meaning to watch it because it's something I missed in theaters, because that was like during the time where we didn't have a theater.
Oh, yeah, okay. Really?
So
I didn't know that that's when that had come out.
Because I'm usually pretty good at staying up to date with watching whatever horror movie would come into Steamboat Springs.
Is going to be here, yeah.
And I remember being pretty pissed off because I missed this and I missed Hard Eyes.
Well, that's why you moved.
It's maybe that's the reason why I moved.
Because the movie theater here just, it's not predictable, I would say. You can't depend on this movie theater to get the stuff you want to see.
Been of one of the reasons.
That's the only one. I think we're gonna run with it.
Okay, let's run with it. I moved because I was sick of the movie theater. Thanks, Steamboat.
Wild Horse.
The only thing that almost kept me going was just how cheap all the rent was there and the affordability of getting houses.
Yep. Yep.
But the
For
movie
sure, that's
theater,
something.
couldn't do it.
Yeah, the trades you have to make.
Exactly. You got to know when to fold them. That's what they say.
And
Fold hard.
Amy, what'd you think of Companion?
I thought it was different than I expected it to be. I thought it wasn't as good as I wanted it to be.
Okay.
I think a lot of people made this seem like it was going to be phenomenal.
Yep.
And I think they're
I
just
didn't
really.
see any hype on it, to be honest.
I did. I remember in theaters,
Okay.
they're like, this movie is great. This is like a super bunch of hype on it. And it has a bunch of really awesome actors. It has like Huey. I don't know his exact name, but.
Quaid?
Yeah. Dennis Quaid's son,
Yep.
Jack Quaid.
Yep.
From The Boys.
He is from The Boys, yep.
Yeah. And then the girl is from Yellow Jackets. That's all I know her from.
Is she?
Yeah, so she plays.
How do I not know this?
She plays Juliette Lewis's younger self.
No, she doesn't.
Yeah, she does. Yes, way.
I'm gonna take your word for it, but that is crazy. I did not make that connection at all because they look completely different.
They do.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, you're talking about like, I don't know if she has lots of tattoos, but like she seems like the rocker chick, right? Is that the one I'm thinking of? The blonde rocker chick? Yeah. Really? Okay.
Well, you know Juliette has a band too, right? Like a punk rock band?
And what is it?
Licks.
The Licks, yep.
Yeah, so
Juliette
that fits her very well. So
yeah.
yes, this girl, let me look up, like you talk about something while I look up her name, because they're saying she's going to be like one of the next horror queens, just like kind of like
Scream Queen?
Yeah, just like Jenna Ortega and stuff.
Okay.
But like at a bigger scale.
I can see that. So the movie is pretty much starts out like you'd expect an AI robot movie to be, is that this dude has an AI girlfriend robot, like an AI bot, and then shit goes wrong.
Well, they also didn't.
I think that's probably all I'll say about.
Yeah, I feel like this movie's been out for like 6 months.
Yeah.
So we can talk about it.
Yeah. You said they didn't announce it? You mean like announcing that she's a robot?
No, they didn't show that she was a robot until she murdered that dude.
Okay.
Yeah, and then
but you could tell though.
Well, they did like little subtle things, like one of the girls was like, "You don't talk to me like you're like me, like one of my kind."
Or whatever. Yeah.
And there's the part where they're like banging right before, and she's like talking about how much she loves him, and Jack Quaid's like, "Go to sleep."
Yeah, but like I don't know. I guess maybe I knew what the movie was just from like the HBO description of it. So like I knew that she was going to be an AI girlfriend, pretty much. But I thought that was really cool is because we've seen a couple of these AI movies of AI girls that are like, they turn out to be the bad thing. And this was interesting that like, I feel like they try to like argue that like you should be on her side.
Yeah.
And
that's exactly what it was.
My biggest question with that is that, do we think this movie was written by AI?
You know, I didn't think about that. Could be.
Like, it would be AI to create a AI sympathized movie.
Two different AI people.
Humans are the worst.
The big plot twist that he was also AI.
Well, see, that would be interesting.
He was.
What?
Yeah, he was also a robot.
Who?
Quaid.
No, he was not.
Yes, he was.
No.
He was a robot for that other dude.
No.
He was in love with.
Jack Quaid is not.
Yes.
You're thinking of the other guy. Okay. So
Jack
Quaid is the guy who has the girlfriend.
Yes.
Right.
So the other guy was a robot.
Correct. So there's two robots in the story from the get-go that we get. There's like the chick robot and then the guy robot.
Oh, sorry. I was definitely editing while I was watching this.
You're good.
I thought it was Jack Quaid. I thought he was also a robot.
No.
Yeah, sorry.
What? Maybe I missed that.
Well, maybe I missed it because I was definitely editing while I was watching it.
No,
Yeah.
so like, yeah, the story is that all these three kind of couples show up to a house together,
Mm-hmm.
and we have Jack Quaid and his girlfriend, who is what was I can't remember what her name was.
Me neither.
The AI robot chick. And then one of his good friends also has an AI robot, but it's a guy, and that's his lover, right?
Bummer. Well, don't they kiss like Jack Quaid kisses that robot too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh man, you missed a lot of this movie.
Sorry.
I don't want to run through the whole breakdown,
No,
but
you're
eventually
good.
what happens is that the the guy dies, and Jack Quaid's character like pretty much hacks the one other AI robot to go hunt down the other robot,
Oh.
and then convinces him that he was his lover the whole time because it's really easy because it's just in the program.
I guess I missed the one part where I thought that was Jack Quaid. Yeah, that's hilarious. All right, let's just move on.
Anyways, I thought it was a great movie. I'd put it at like 6.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd do the same.
I think it was better than Megan, and I think that
Really?
it was a lot better than Subservience.
So Serbians is the one with Megan Fox, right?
Yes,
Yeah. I really liked Megan.
I thought Megan was okay, but I think that Megan was to me really predictable. Whereas this one, I didn't, because I've seen Megan and I've seen Subservience. I didn't expect to like have the direction of the movie go, and the fact that
Yeah.
like the humans are the problem, the AI is not the problem. So
Yeah, that's true. All right, I guess I need to rewatch it.
I mean, if you choose to.
Yeah.
Anyways, I know you watched another movie because I watched it too, and we talked about it. What do you think of Sinners?
Like unbiased opinion right now.
Yeah,
I loved it.
yeah. It was
What's not to like?
I don't know, man. It was such a cool,
It's
fantastically needed horror movie.
it was the first movie I got to watch in a new movie theater with like reclining chairs, like surround sound.
Dude.
I didn't hear like the other action movie like from the other side, like you do in Steamboat.
Yeah, and
that was nice.
You gotta like try to like peek through to see the movie screen through all the teenagers' broccoli hair.
Yeah, exactly.
Sinners was so good. A cool take on a vampire story that involved like a tie-in to music and the traditions within like how music shapes culture and stuff like that. I don't know. Do we want to go through the story of it or just kind of leave it a little bit ambiguous since it's that big of a movie?
I think since it's new, I don't think we need to tell the whole story.
Yeah.
I could definitely tell you that I thought it was going to be a little predictable.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really thought it was going to be black versus white when it really wasn't.
Yeah.
Like I really thought the way that they like tied everything in was like really good. Thought it was like you said, brilliantly. Like the music is great.
The music like all around was fantastic. Like both in the movie, but also like it ties into like the storyline and stuff like that. How big of a deal music was, especially with like blues culture in the American South in the early 1800s. Yeah, was super cool.
Yeah, I thought the writing was great.
Yep.
There's not a lot I could say bad about this movie.
Yeah, same here.
Maybe it wasn't long enough.
Yeah, fair. I mean, it still came in at what, like 2 hours or something like that?
It was like 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good...
I love how they didn't tie, like, there was no, like, subtle hints being a vampire movie. It was just like, this is a movie.
We brought it up. I mean, we've talked about this on the podcast before, is that I thought it was going to be like a Jason Statham movie from, like, the movie poster. I thought it was like Jason Statham with Michael B. Jordan in it, and it's obviously not that movie. I mean, still kind of. Were you at all surprised to see Michael B. Jordan play two separate characters?
No, I knew that.
Okay, I did not know that. And I was like, man, that guy looks a shit ton like Michael B. Jordan. And I was like, that guy is Michael B. Jordan? Shit, is he playing two characters? Son of a bitch.
Well, my girlfriend, we were in the theater. She's like, I know Michael B. Jordan is the guy in front. Who's the other guy? I'm like,
Literally, I had to like take a second. It's like I know that face, but like one looks like traditional him, and the other one's got like a mustache and like a hat
yeah.
on, and it's like I think that's him too, unless he has like a really good lookalike.
No, I was like, oh, that's Michael B. Jordan. She's like, oh,
That's Michael B. Jordan too. I am pumped that they officially decided that banjos are the devil. And
yeah,
they're of the evil kind.
yeah, as well as bluegrass.
Yeah, bluegrass and banjos are from the depths of hell. I think that's what the movie pretty much
Yeah,
spelled out for me.
I love that Buddy Guy was in this.
Yep.
I won't say when, but that's really cool that they like used
Yeah,
him. Basically, go watch this fucking movie if you haven't seen
yeah,
it.
and also stick around
Yeah.
all the way through the credits.
Oh, I didn't go all the way.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I waited until the second part where
Yep.
they did that, and then we didn't save for the very very end.
It's cool. I mean, just like as far as like if you like the music that was in the movie, stick
Yeah.
around to the very end of it.
So after all the credits run down, there's another scene.
Yep.
How'd you? Yeah, see, and I knew that. I knew there was going to be something, but I knew I had to go though. So.
Yep. I didn't really have to tell Amber. I wasn't moving, so she just kind of like sat there and waited with me. I was like, no.
Did you look
wait.
up and know? Well,
Just wait.
when you think about it,
I heard that someone said, I saw a comment somewhere like because right before I went and saw it, the movie had been out for like a day or two, and everyone's like, this is the greatest horror movie, obviously of the year, but like maybe of like the last 10 years kind of thing. I was like, okay. And then people are saying like, I checked the comments to see what other people are thinking, and it's not just from like IMDb says it's good or whatever. And a lot of people were saying stick all the way through the credits.
well, I still have to tell me off screen what it happened. But so I don't think this is a horror movie.
No,
I think it's a monster movie.
it's a monster movie.
Yeah,
for sure.
There were scary parts, but yeah, I would say this is a horror action movie.
You don't
sure.
classify monster movies as horror movies?
I do, but yeah,
Okay.
It's more of a monster.
Definitely
movie.
a monster movie.
Are you rating this thing?
Oh man, like 9, 8.5 or 9. It was so good.
Yeah, I was gonna say 9.
Yeah. The last question I had was, do we see any parts of vampire lore that didn't fit the narrative with what we know from like previous? We kind of did this when we went through through Abigail. It was like, hey, what was in Abigail that like challenged our view of how we see vampires today? I don't really remember a whole lot. Other than the music thing. The music thing was like a huge part of it.
Well, like without saying spoilers, I think that he was looking for a certain person because of their musical skills and what they could do, which I kind of took that as like a voodoo thing.
It was definitely, there was a lot of cool. They spun the traditional like motives of vampires a little bit on its head and gave them like legitimate purpose instead of like evil purpose. They had like, maybe fucked up ways of getting there, but like still like legitimate ways, like why a vampire would operate the way that it did, besides just violence and needing to eat people.
Yes, exactly.
So I thought that was cool.
Yeah, so both 9 out of 10. Please go watch this movie. Watch it in theaters. Unless you live in Steamboat still, then you can wait till it's at your
I think
house.
it's still there. Maybe it's already out of the theaters.
Oh, I'm just saying.
That's where I saw it. So I'm just going to preface this. This is how I'm going to lead it in. Do you think that The Last of Us is the best horror TV show running currently?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Just definitively. I agree with that.
I think
I don't know what competition it has, but
I think it might be challenged soon because there's a shit ton of horror television coming with a bunch of people like actual directors that are worth a shit doing it.
Currently.
Yeah, I think it's great cinema. I'm on the edge of my seat watching this show. Even though there's 2 games that tell the story.
Yeah.
Like you legit know the story.
Yeah. Yeah, they've just done such a great job of like creating this horror or like even like monster style like movie, but like it has so much heart. The characters are so good. It
I was
breaks you when someone dies versus
yeah,
like, and that's the benefit. I think it's why we're gonna start seeing some more of this because like in a horror movie, it's so hard to develop a character and drive a storyline.
yes.
Where like in a TV series, you're able to take the time to build your characters, to make your audience care for them, to fucking kill them.
Yes. So are we just gonna go up and are we gonna talk about the episodes,
Yeah,
or you just want to
yeah. I
just
think
talk about the fact that we love it so much?
yeah, I think
Where are you at? How far
So
are you?
I I'm at episode. I just finished episode 3. I went to watch episode 4 last night, and I totally fell asleep. I made it like 10 minutes in
Yeah. See,
to episode 4.
I'm same.
Yep.
I
The
think
first
everyone.
episode.
Are we spoiling things for anyone that
We,
hasn't seen it?
yeah, I mean, like I'm honestly like it's been. So I've watched them as they've come out. So I'm actually like having a little bit of trouble really remembering the first episode. I definitely remember the second episode.
Oh, me
The
too.
shit gets fucking crazy.
Yeah, I don't remember that much about the first episode. Was more about them kind of just being in Jackson.
Setting the scene kind
They
of for like where they're at now.
Like they played like the wolf for the WLF, where like
Mm-hmm.
they re-showed that shadow of the doctor's daughter that was talking about killing Joel because he shot her dad.
Yeah, that's how it opens that way.
That's how it
doesn't
starts.
Yep.
And then it is pretty much just them and Jackson, and then Joel and Abby. I always forget her name's main character's name.
Ellie,
Yeah, Ellie.
I think it is.
Just fighting over, God knows what. Or
Silly
from the
shit,
last season.
what, she's like 18 or something. Or
She's 19.
16.
Then they show you Rita. So Rita gets introduced. It's not her name. Dina. Shit. See,
Is the other girl.
I'm so bad with names. I'm bad.
You're good.
I've always been
You're
really
good.
bad with names. So they introduce Dina.
Yep.
They have the prom or the New Year's dance.
Yep.
And then they show like her being mean to Joel, walking past Joel after the dance, after he tries to stand up for her. He goes to the therapist, which I think she's a fucking spy.
For who?
For the
government?
No, not the Fireflies.
Okay.
Theory.
Okay. Theory.
Not just
I like that theory.
not just a drunk therapist the whole time.
Yeah.
My phone just thought I said Siri, and so it's
That's really funny. It's listening.
And so I think that kind of foreshadowed that you kind of knew, and I knew that Joel was going to die just because I like played the games.
Oh, really? See, like I haven't played the games. I don't have a PlayStation, so episode 2, I was like,
you guys,
holy shit!
You guys always made fun of me for always liking PlayStation. You guys are Xbox guys. Yeah, you always do.
I literally have never done that.
Okay.
I make fun of you because you're bad at NA.
Yeah. Well, agree to disagree.
But that has nothing to do with the fact you own a PlayStation.
Well, now that it's been said about Joel dying, how fucking brutal was that?
That whole episode, like, I don't know, like, there's like, I remember watching, like, there's like some Game of Thrones episodes that were like, holy shit, because like not only does something crazy like that happen, then you have like the whole fucking town getting run over by the zombie horde that's like in the fucking snow. And like, and so like huge battles as well as like a huge important character dying in a whole nother area. Like it's gotta be, at the end of the year, it's going to be ranked as the #1 episode in television.
Yeah, it has to be. And then from there, I guess I'm going to go on. So episode 3 is just no one supporting Ellie other than Dina in the town. And the whole time you're like, oh, I know for sure that she's going.
She's going to go either way, and she says that, and we know that. And like whether or not she's going to have a posse go with her, it doesn't really matter to her.
Yeah.
She'd like to have some people with her, but if not, it doesn't really matter.
But I also think that this is the best case scenario. Instead of having 16 people there, I think it's best that it's just Ellie and Dina.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. I'm also like, but like, it's also a little unfair to me because you have played the game, so you know what the story is. But then there's like the religious like cult that's like walking through the forest, and then all of a sudden like they're all fucking dead, and I have no fucking clue what happened.
Wolf.
I know, but like, why? Why are they just randomly killing people? It doesn't
Because they're
seem to make
fucking
any sense to me.
shitty humans.
Yeah, but like,
We won't know yet.
yeah, I guess I don't know.
Go play
But-
the games, dude. I offered you my PlayStation, but you said no.
You did. I don't remember that.
Now it's here.
All right.
What
Do
else
we
we
want to
got?
cover anything else? Last of Us. I think we're just gonna
No.
keep plugging away, and we'll probably keep dropping every little now and then.
I'm sure we're going to be talking about it for each one of our renting episodes because it's too good not to talk about.
The last one I have on the docket for today is just covering. So the director from Barbarian, Zach Krieger, has a new movie coming out called Bobbins.
Mama. That's from
I was like, what the
Barbarian.
fuck are you talking about? Okay.
Yes.
Yep. Okay, so this trailer did not give anything away. It's almost hard to even know what the movie is about, which I'm actually happy about because we keep getting let down by trailers that promise too much for us. And I'm happy to see something that doesn't do that, that is like, we're going to keep the mystery about it. It's coming from Barbarian director Zach Krieger of Whitest Kids You Know fame, which is also interesting because he is a former like comedian star, and there's another comedian star tied into this. Jordan Peele from Key and Peele loved the script for this movie so much he tried to buy it through his company Monkey Paw, but he lost the bidding war. Because of that, and because it was mismanaged by his manager, he fired that manager, which means he was pretty fucking high on this movie and really wanted to make it. But Zach Krieger, who wrote the movie, I don't quite understand how exactly this works, but he was able to secure the rights. He outbid Jordan Peele for the script and for the rights to make this movie. He's that high on it to where he's not only like putting a bunch of money into it, but is also like straight up firing people that didn't get him this movie. Like, it's gonna be a fucking kick-ass movie. We have a huge budget from New Line Cinema, and I think it could be. I don't know on release dates when this is coming out. Do you know that?
I'm pretty sure it's in May. I'll look it up right now.
This month?
It's gonna be May. Let me look it up. I know that the trailer, it might actually be August. I'm sorry.
August 8th. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I know that the trailer just dropped like last week.
That's why I was surprised that.
That's the first I'd heard of it.
Well, you were saying, like, it's really surprising if they were releasing it this month to have a trailer come out like
oh yeah,
the movie.
Turns out I'm full of shit. I didn't know what I was talking about.
Even still though, like we got the trailer for, you know, the new 28 Years Later, and that's like that came out like damn near a fucking year before the movie came out.
Yeah.
Whereas this one's at least it's only August. It's only like 3 months away.
Well, speaking of that, I feel like the extended trailer was during Sinners. I don't think the trailer was that long before the one we watched. Yeah. And the one that was during Sinners was like, this is gonna rule.
Yeah. Yep. Fucking super excited for this movie.
Me too. August 8th, not August in 8th. May. It's not going to be May.
8/8.
8/8. What a glorious day.
Yeah, let's hope so.
I'm looking forward to it.
I'll be hoping that they get it at my theater in Steamboat. So
I will definitely have it somewhere close to me.
I'll just call them all the way out there to come watch a movie, and then I'll turn around.
No, don't do it.
Okay.
I have other plans for you.
Okay. I'm not scared.
Don't be scared.
I'm not scared.
Don't be scared. My little pet.
Don't say shit like that, you fucking weirdo.
Yeah, well, you've been fucking rambling for an hour, so maybe we should just call this, huh? I'm joking. I'm getting sassy. I'm drinking. I'm sassy.
What? How many beers have you had? I just finished my first one.
Oh, I'm at 1.5. I'm not drunk at all.
Okay,
I'm just messing with you.
Cool. You pregame? I know it's Cinco de Mayo.
No, sir.
You lying to me?
No, sir. I told you at the beginning of this episode that I was like having a hard time breathing and everything's harder for me to do. And I've gotten fatter.
Including drink?
So I'm like, yeah, I just can't do this anymore. I can't drink all day.
Well, I think I'm with you. Let's wrap this thing up.
Yeah.
So next week on Drunken Mnemonic, we trade whiskey for weather balloons. Because what crashed outside Roswell, New Mexico in 1947 has been debated, debunked, and denied for nearly 80 years. Was it just a secret military experiment or the biggest government cover-up of all time? We're breaking down the crash, the cover-up, and the chaos in our deep dive of the Roswell incident. Tune in next week.
I've never heard about this, so this should be a good one to watch.
Yeah, you're going to have to wait till next week and not 5 minutes from now.
Well, I'm excited.
Thanks for tuning into another episode of Drunken Mnemonic. Until next time, do you remember what the saying is that I made up? Oh, you have your own.
Yep. You say yours.
Stay weird, stay wicked, stay wasted.